Why your darts mindset is holding you back. Now, I'm really excited to talk about this today because it's something that I've been guilty of myself. It's something that I've definitely done since I started playing darts. And I think it's a video that a lot of people, whether you're a beginner player who might just be a few months in, whether you're an improving player or an intermediate player who might be anywhere from a few months to a couple of years in, I think you will benefit from this video regardless. And I think even players who are a little bit more advanced than that can also relate to this, I'm sure, because they've either probably experienced this themselves or are still a little bit guilty of it. Like, I'm 2 years into my journey and I'm definitely still guilty of this at times. And I'm going to talk about it more in a second, but I just want to kind of make clear to begin with, it's rooted in good intention and desire to improve. So when I say I don't mean to put anybody down for thinking like this or having these sorts of thoughts about how they're going to improve in the game, I'm really not trying to be negative and hurt anybody's feelings or put anybody down or make anybody feel bad about the way they've been approaching things. There's nothing wrong with it. And I really do believe that they are excellent traits to have when you're trying to improve at darts or anything really. But I think in this circumstance, it can work against you. And I'm going to explain in this video why. As I said, I've been guilty of it myself. I'm definitely probably one of the worst offenders. And that's the reason why I really do think I am well placed to make this video. Now, let me just go back to earlier this year. I've told you about this on another video, but I'm going to repeat it here. So I went on holiday and I was playing competitive darts on holiday. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't playing pro darts or anything like that. It was a pub league abroad, essentially. But it kind of got that competitive fire burning within me. I wanted to become better at darts. So I came home from holiday and I decided, I needed grippier darts. I needed to change my darts. I needed to change the equipment. The darts needed to change. So that was the first thing I did. The second thing I did was I decided my stance needs to change. I'm not standing properly. My foot's turned the wrong way. We need to change that. I need to change my chest angle and start pointing my chest in a different direction. Okay, we need to change that too. That has to go. I decided I wasn't releasing the dart the way I'd like. That's number 3. I decided my grip had to change. I wasn't holding the dart properly. You know, you can see players on TV doing this, or you can see other people doing that, or this YouTube video tells me to do this. So I'm going to change my grip. So what's that for? What else did I change? I tried to change my elbow height. That was another thing I tried to change. I've watched a YouTube video and he's telling me I need to hold the dart lower, or I've watched this video. He's telling me the dart needs to be higher. So we're going to have to change that elbow height. And you can quickly see all the things that are happening here. I've kind of like got back from holiday and with the best intentions in the world to try and improve and step up my game and become a better player. I've been proactive in trying to improve it. So I did all these things. Changed the grip, changed the dart, changed the stance, elbow height, chest angle, anything else. There was probably more, to be truthful. And I was trying to do it all at once. And I think you can probably guess what happened next. Everything fell apart. My game dipped. I was doing really weird things with my throw. I was trying to throw 3 darts on the board and one of them was always going off in a weird direction and everything went backwards. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking you just didn't stick it out. If you'd stuck it out, you would have been a better player at the end of it. And I disagree with that. And let me kind of spoil it a little bit by saying it did not make me a better player. The intention was there, the good intention was there, and the desire to improve was there, but it was misplaced. And when it's misplaced, it can work against you. So what's the answer? So I can't improve at darts. I can't change anything. It's not quite that simple, but I'm going to say, in general, technically, your throw is probably fine. Now, there's a few caveats that I'll kind of get to later, but let me kind of just refer back to my whiteboard. So we've got the new idea. New idea might be, I've seen some darts that I like, and they're different. I've got grippy darts, I want some smoother darts. I've got smoother darts, I want some grippier darts. I've got some straight darts, I want some, I don't know, more like thicker barrel darts. Whatever it may be, maybe even it's a different type of like flight. Instead of having like a normal flight, you've got like a K-flex or an L-style, something that just changes the weight distribution of the dart. Right, okay. It might be a YouTube video. It might be somebody on YouTube who, in a vacuum, may be giving fantastic advice. They might really know what they're talking about. This person might be 90 average, a tremendous darts player. They might have won all sorts of things. And they might be giving you good advice in terms of a technical part of your throw. The problem is implementing it. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. So you might have watched a YouTube video. You might have new darts. You might have been down the pub. You might have watched the dart fly out of your friend's hand and think, wow, that dart's got some pop on it. I need to throw a lot harder. Whatever it may be, there's an idea. That's the inception, ideation, whatever you call it. I think that's a word, ideation. The new idea. So we learn of it. We find it on YouTube. We see it in the pub. We see the dart that we would love. Maybe even watching a pro on TV. We try to implement it. And generally, I'm going to say most of the time, it's probably not going to go well. I'm not saying things can't change. You can't change anything. I'm just saying most of the time, it's probably not going to go well. You're going to be set back and you're going to be frustrated. Your morale's going to drop. You're not going to want to practice. You're not going to want to play. You're going to feel bad about things. At best, you're going to be back at where you started. You're going to be back at square one. Will you be better equipped to progress with your new technique that you've spent all this time learning? Maybe it might take you 6 weeks. I believe that is the amount of time it takes to implement something. So if you implement like a different like flick of the wrist or something, 6 weeks is supposed to be the number that it takes, or the amount of time I should say it takes to implement that. So you've taken 6 weeks. You've gone backwards as a darts player probably. I think if you're lucky, you're probably still at square one. You're back to where you started with better technique. I'm pretty dubious about that, but let's just say you are. You're back at square one. At worst, you're way behind. You're feeling bad about your game. You've lost your confidence. You're starting to question everything. And the more you question, the worse it gets. It becomes this vicious cycle of this feels bad. I need to change this. And then you implement it, or you try to implement it and it feels worse again. Okay, we need to change that now. So let's just kind of like pluck an example off the top of my head. So you try and change like your elbow height. You change your elbow height, the darts aren't going as well. Your brain can't compute what you've done. It might be better in theory. It might not be, who knows? You're doing this new elbow height. Your throw's got worse, you're feeling bad. So rather than thinking, I need to go back to what I was doing before and just stay with what I've got, you think, this isn't right. I need to keep ripping up. I need to rip, there's just more. My wrist isn't right now. My stance isn't right. My chest angle's wrong. So then you change your chest angle too. And it's still not going well. And maybe you get like a little burst of improvement when you initially change it, just random. Maybe you don't. But let's just say now you've got a different chest angle and you've got a different elbow height. Suddenly you're starting to get into the territory of what's really making a mess of my game. We don't really know, but we're going to start changing some more stuff. And you can keep going on and on. And the worse you play, the more you want to change. The more you change, the worse you play. The worse you play, the more you want to change. Can you see where I'm going with this? It's a bit like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers. It's like the more I eat, the more unhappy I get. The more unhappy I get, the more I eat. That kind of thing. So I would argue that changing things like technical or equipment or anything like that, it's likely, and I say likely because it's not 100% of the time, these things can, in theory, improve your game. But my theory is that most of the time it's going to be detrimental to your game. And if you just keep thinking you can watch a YouTube video, or you can just get some new darts, or if you can do whatever, copy somebody else's throw for whatever reason, it's not going to be a shortcut to success. It's going to be a detriment to your game, and you need to stop. So let me give you a second route. So we've got scenario B, and I've put in brackets for a rock. Be a rock. So ignore the noise. So you can see that somebody else is doing a really weird thing with the throw, and it looks great, and you think to yourself, it doesn't matter to me. It's irrelevant. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. and I'm going to keep improving. So you just continue to build. You don't rip up your game. You don't change your darts. You don't start throwing with a dart that is 3 grams heavier or lighter. You don't start trying to change your grip. You just continue to slowly progress. You're just going to try and get better 1% per week. Now, it might not be the sexiest answer, because the temptation and the hope and the desire is that you're going to kind of find something on YouTube or with these new darts or whatever it may be that is going to accelerate your development, that is going to kind of shortcut you to a better place, that's going to make you jump up 5 or 10 points in your average. And I'm here to tell you it's not going to. It's just not. And I know, because I've done it myself. I'm not standing here saying, I figured it all out, I'm better than you. No, 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 no. Believe me, I've done all these things. I've watched lots of YouTube. I've watched lots of TikTok. I've tried lots of darts. I've got a drawer over there full of darts because I just keep buying them. I'm addicted. And you know what? They never help my game. Never. So these aren't the things that are going to help you. The thing that is going to help you is slowly building your game, slowly improving what you have. I'll refer back to something I think I said at the beginning. Your throw is probably fine. Now, there is a few caveats to that. I think the biggest one for me would probably be if you're throwing in a way that is hurting you or causing injury, maybe we need to, well, we do need to address it, because you can't just keep practicing if you're hurting your back or if you're hurting your knee or whatever it may be. So that is something you probably do need to change, and I would probably encourage you to address that. But if you're throwing in a way that is comfortable to you, comfortable being the key word, and is sustainable, the other key word, it will set you up for everything you need to achieve in darts. I genuinely believe that. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I'm not standing here telling you my average is at 99.6 and I'm amazing at darts. I'm an improving darts player. I'm just telling you what I've learned. I'm telling you what's worked for me. I'm telling you what's continuing to work for me. And I'm telling you the mistakes I see in others, because like I've seen it in myself, so I can spot it. I genuinely believe that darts improvement is just a game of slowly improving, slowly building what you have. Will your game improve over a couple of years, technically, if you just keep doing the same thing and trying to improve slowly? I think it will. I think the brain, and when I say this, what I mean is, let's just say I throw a dart. I can generally feel now, 2 years in, when the dart is bad. I can't feel why it's bad all of the time, but more of the time than when I started playing, I can feel what's gone wrong. So sometimes I'll think I've pushed the dart, I've not flicked the wrist enough, I didn't get a pop on the elbow. You start to feel these things. It becomes this intuition. It becomes something that is almost second nature. Now, as I continue to improve at darts and as I continue to get better at the game, I would like to think that intuition and that sense will improve, and I will just continue to refine my throw very slowly, 1% a week or whatever it may be. You're not just going to go on YouTube and just watch a video that's going to tell you to start doing something differently. Ultimately, it's built with repetitions, and it's going to be built with experience and just practice. So I've put on this board, accumulating marginal gains. We've talked about that. Watch for pros. So what I mean by this is not watch, I don't know, Stephen Bunting and say I'm going to copy what Stephen Bunting does. That's not what I'm saying, because that's not going to work for you. It might make logical sense that it would work. Why would I not copy Luke Littler? He's the best player in the world. Well, he's not the best player in the world because of what you're seeing on the screen. He's the best player in the world because of the way he's trained and the amount of time he's put practicing in on the board and the way he's practiced. And it's the same for any other player. Watch one of these players who has a really strange throw. Like Johnny Clayton has a bit of a weird throw. I'm not saying it's bad or whatever. I'm not a technical expert, but just look at his throw. That's all I'm saying. As a complete sort of just like, let's just say novice, watch Johnny Clayton's throw, and I think you can see that he doesn't like flick the wrist, and he's not got like this kind of like immaculate form. I think that's fair to say. He'll kind of push the darts a bit, and there's other players like that. Look at Mensur Suljovic. His throw is weird as, but he's the top player, and there's just lots of players like that. Watch the World Championship, and you'll see dozens of players with really weird throws. your throw is probably fine. Unless it's hurting you, unless it's causing you injury, and unless it's really impairing you in the long run, your throw is fine. Just continue to refine it, continue to improve it, and stop going to YouTube for all these experts who may or may not be experts. I'm sure there's some who are genuine experts, and I know there's some who are genuine experts. They know more than me. But in my experience, you're not going to learn by just watching YouTube. You're not going to learn by buying new darts. You're not going to learn by going down the pub and seeing a great player, or a good player, I should say, seeing a good player and thinking, I'm going to do that. You need to learn by just doing your own thing and slowly refining it. Slow, marginal gains. And I appreciate it's not the sexiest answer in the world, because this video would be a lot better if I could tell you I could double your average overnight, but I can't. What I can tell you is what I've learned from my experience and what works for me, and what I really do believe will work for you. So in summary, that's what I would say. I would say, be a rock. Don't let these outside influences, equipment, YouTube content, people you see down the pub, people you see on TV, don't let these things influence you to rip up your game. It's the worst thing you can do, and it will set you back. And it's not how you will develop as a player. If you've experienced this yourself, do let me know down in the comments. You've probably tried things yourself. Let me know if they've really made any big difference in the long run, because I would be fairly surprised if they have, but maybe they have for some people. In my mind, for the most part though, probably not going to. So yeah, let me know your experience of this down in the comments. Let me know if this has been helpful or illustrative for you. I've really been excited to make this video because I think it's something that a lot of people, a trap a lot of people fall into that they can avoid. Stay the course, be a rock. But yeah, if you do appreciate this video and if you've got anything from it, like the like is somewhere around here, just give it a whack and maybe even subscribe. I know, crazy. But yeah, thank you for watching this far, if you have. I really do appreciate it. These videos might look low budget or low effort. Well, they are low budget, but I do put effort into it, and I do really try my best to think of something that will be of value to you. So like I say, anything that you do, any interaction, like, subscribe, comment, much appreciated. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you for the next one. Bye-bye.